Hello, everyone. Hey, welcome to our webinar. We'll give, I think, 2 more minutes for other people to join, and then we'll officially kick things off. In the meantime, and while we're waiting, feel free to pop in our chat, introduce yourself. You can say your name, where you're from, what company you work for. Okay, so I think we can start. So welcome to our first joint session with Port and Sonar, building a strong foundation for code quality and security. I'm very happy and excited to introduce you to both Maya and Vivek, which are product managers here in Port and in Sonar. If we can click and move to the next slide. So this is going to be our agenda. We have like 45 minutes packed with a lot of information, a lot of cool things to share with you. So we'll start by introducing Port and Sonar, explain a little bit how Port and Sonar can work together to better your workflows and everything that you do. Talk a little about how Sonar enhanced experience in Port for developers, and then for leadership, we'll talk about SonarQube onboarding for services at Port, and obviously leave some time for questions and answers, so feel free to write anything that comes up to your head. And thank you for Slava for sharing the first question. We'll try to answer everything at the end of the session. So again, feel free to write any question that you have. And Vivek and Maya, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Ronnie. So hi everyone, my name is Maya. I'm a product manager at Port. And before we are going to deep dive to all the great things that you can do with Port and Sonar together, I would like to introduce you to Port. So what is Port? Port is an internal developer portal. It's a one-stop shop for both consuming data and performing action, triggering workflow with third-party tools that you use as part of the SDLC. So with the rise of cloud, microservices, the DevOps concept and role, the developer's job has changed meaningfully. From just writing code, it's so much more now. It is deploying code, monitoring deployment, responding to incident, opening bug, collaborating on Git, scaffolding new services, creating cloud resources like S3 buckets, and many more things. So the tool overloads, the high level of abstraction from different tools, the context switch, the dependency on the DevOps, just reduce the velocity and the productivity of the team. And this is exactly what Port is solving. So Port connects between the R&D stakeholders to the tools they are using and also between the tools themselves, providing the right context, understand dependencies between components, and also has great RBAC mechanism to create the right level of abstraction for each role and also establish ownership. In Port, you can customize the portal to match your workflows and DNA. and you're not limited by a rigid platform. You can promote initiative, encourage high standard by creating scorecards, and empower the entire R&D, making them independent and help them see the full picture. So here in this image, you can see kind of a demonstration of how Port can connect between all the stakeholders of the R&D, all the different platforms. Of course, we have many more integrations that are available, and you can also create your own integration. And now Vivek will continue, will introduce you to Sonar and why Sonar and Ports together are even better.
Thank you, Maya. Awesome. I'm Vivek, product manager at Sonar. I hope all of you are doing so well today. Wonderful. Let me tell you a little bit about Sonar. Vibe, then verify. Oh, we are all talking about AI supported development these days, isn't it? And you very well know Sonar is going to help you there, isn't it? Let me tell that story a little bit. Of course, you're going to use a lot of AI assisted development, but maybe you're not. You're doing still classic development as well. But either way, we have real time issue detection in your AI enabled IDs. So without any delay. So at the leftmost, you detect all the issues in your code that is developed with or without AI generated or not. And then not only that, we help you further. We offer a solution to automatically fix those issues right from where you detect them. With our AI code fix, you can actually fix those issues that either it is code quality issue or security issue, you can fix them automatically. And even better, you can leverage our AI agents solution for automated repair of the code as well as you use this AI support to develop faster. So definitely while going faster, it is absolutely essential that we make sure we verify that this code is free from any security issues or code quality issues, right? So that we can make sure that it is going to do the job it is supposed to do and nothing more and nothing else. And now, what else is done with SonarQube there is that we are actually making sure that you're building trust with every single line of code you're writing, right? How we can do that is very well known. We are the gold standard in completely integrated code quality and security. That means in your CI/CD, we continuously check your code to make sure that that code is compliant to the standards set by your organization. With our quality gate and quality profile, you're always safe and making sure that your code is meeting the standard. And we have established this over the last 16 plus years. And over 7 million developers trust and love our products, and many of you already use it. And 400,000 organizations are using our products to make sure this is happening. And the coverage of 6,000 plus issues detected across 35 plus languages, pretty remarkable to say the least, I would say. And this way you can make sure that you build trust with all code written, either it is developer written or it is AI written. You always have code that you can mark with trust. That is exactly what Sonar is doing, and that is how Sonar will help you. Maya, can we move to the next slide? Wonderful. Now let's see how Port and Sonar can work together to bring you a better workflow. Of course, Maya have shared you how Port is bringing together information from all your applications in your SDLC to have a collection of all different contexts in one place, including the ownership of these technical assets. Now, for a moment, think that how amazing it would be if we have code quality, security, and coverage information coming from Sonar. Now, that is a whole new level of experience it can unlock, isn't it? Now, just to give you a summary of how that can work for different personas, for ops, for example, you can see the percentage of services in Port that are not having a code quality or security integration with Sonar, because it is essential to make sure your code is safe as you wipe away. You can easily see where it is missing, and you can very easily add that integration right from the Port. Now, if you are a developer, you have the context-based information on and focused tasks prioritize tasks on what you need to really act on today, what is most important tasks. And not only that, in those contexts where as a developer, if you need more information, you can easily jump to SonarQube and find more information about what is wrong with your code, what is wrong with your pull request, for example, and investigate more there in Sonar. Similar story for leadership, right? You as a leader will find an overall code quality and security posture right inside Port with its dashboards deriving from Sonar information. And you will also be able to take advantage of central coding standard administration tooling of Sonar right through Port. And so we can see that these three perspectives, three channels, three personas are taking advantage of this beautiful experience that Port and Sonar can bring together. Now, let's actually see this in action. Maya is going to walk us through these experiences right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Vivek. So what we're going to do now is to show you a few areas where you get value from the integration of Sonar within Port. We will start first with the experience of the developer. So we will cover in the first part, discovering, fixing, verifying PR issues from Plan My Day dashboard. And then we will cover evaluating critical services in SonarQube. Later on, we'll cover some other areas of the leadership and some nice surprises. So this is Port. This is the homepage of Port. And if I'm a developer, the first thing that I will do in the morning when I get to work will be to go to the catalog and go to the Plan My Day dashboard. Here in the catalog, we have all the different dashboards that help us manage our daily routine. And as a developer, the first thing will be go to Plan My Day. In Plan My Day, I can see multiple widgets that will show me really important information that will help me plan my day, literally. So you can see here information like pull requests that I need to track, pull requests that are waiting for my review. In this example, there are no pull requests that are waiting for my review, the prioritized Jira tickets that I have, and many more other widgets that help me decide what I'm going to do today. So for the first example, I'm going to focus on the track your open pull request. So here in track your open pull request, I will see only the pull requests that are assigned to me. And here in Port, we are gathering information from other tools to provide the biggest picture on each pull request. In this example, we have information from GitHub, like the title of the pull request, days old, link, and we have more fields. They're just hidden for now because I wanted to be clean so we can see the value from Sonar better. But in addition to the information that we have from GitHub, we also have the information from Sonar, like number of new issues, the coverage percentage, duplication, and we can see here the number. And based on that, decides what we want to do next. So for example, I see here that I have a PR with 14 new issues. So one of the ways to continue from here is to click here on the link of analysis by Sonar. And when I click on this link, I will be navigated to Sonar to the actual page of this specific pull request, so I can analyze it and understand what to do next. Now Vivek will explain how and what is the best practice of analyzing a PR.
Wonderful. Now that you are in Sonar, you can see that there are some open issues. For example, if you see there are 2 open reliability issues, those are bugs that need to be addressed because the code will be malfunctioning otherwise. You can see 12 maintainability issues. Those are going to affect extensibility of your code, for example. It's going to, in the long run, slow you down. So you may want to make sure that in this PR, you don't want that 12, you may want to fix them. And very interestingly, you can see there are 5 security hotspots lying under there as well. You need to look through all these things. And to do that, you can jump to the Issues tab up top. And for each issue, you can see that, okay, you can click one of those issues for me, Maya. Now you can see that what is this issue? What is going on? All right, at line 64, you have an issue, handle this exception or don't catch it at all. You need to have an implementation. Don't just leave it with a comment. That is what it's saying. You need to have an implementation. But to know more about that, you can also click JavaScript S2486, the rule, and you will see more details about what is really happening, what is a good example, what is a bad example, all those information you can find. Essentially, what Sonar is giving you is the deep information necessary for you to understand what is wrong with your code and how you need to fix those issues. And it is also helping you understand what kind of issue it is, if it is going to impact your reliability, security, and so on. Now, to also explore what is happening with hotspots, let's go back to the hotspots. You can see there is 5 hotspots that is open and we need to review. Here the expectation is that you can actually review this and triage those hotspots to make sure that is there an actual risk. You can see here Maya is the assignee. Maya is product manager, but sometimes she's also developing as an engineer, it looks like, isn't it? It's amazing that many product managers are also engineers. The point is that you can assign a hotspot or an issue to any of your teammates to make sure that it is tracked, it is trashed and fixed. Similar to the issue we discussed earlier, here you will see what is the risk, why it is a hotspot, how can you fix it. All that information is available right inside SonarCube. And you will get that information. If you don't want to triage, you can always assign it to your teammate who will do it for you. And that is how you will do that, understand and plan to fix some of those issues in the PR. That is what you do inside SonarCube, as you just did right now. So Maya, how do you continue?
Hey, thank you so much. It was really insightful. So after we analyzed a PR, we want to actually fix the issue. So let's see how we close the loop. So because here we have 14 issues and it will take quite time to fix them, I will go with another PR. For example, this one, that here we have 2 issues. So in this case, again, I will click on the link to check the issues in Sonar. And when I click here on the issues tab and check the issue, I see that the issue is that I have unused variable. So here I have the button of opening IDE to fix the issue. Just because we're in the webinar now, I'm going to do it from GitHub UI. So I'm going to GitHub, look for this specific PR. Once I found it, I would go to the branch and we'll fix the issue. So I'm looking for this file. I see the issue right here, unused variable. And here I can click on edit this file, remove this unused variable, and commit the changes. So I just click here on commit. The change was committed. And then, of course, if I'll go to GitHub, which I believe you're familiar with, to the pull request and to this specific pull request that I just committed a fix to, I can see that we're currently, it was committed. And in a few seconds, you will see that also Sonar analyzed it. Like if I will refresh this page, I believe we will see it in like few moments. Yeah, so we have the analysis from Sonar. And now let's check it in port. So in port, I would like to sync the integration, so we'll get the most updated information. I'll go to the builder page, to the data sources, and here I have all the information about the SonarCube integration. So in general, to sync an integration, and specifically for SonarCube, we have 3 ways of syncing. The first one will be schedule syncs that are scheduled normally to every 1 hour, every 4 hours, depend on what you would like. We have manual sync, which is what I'm going to do right now. And there are also live events that will get the event of changes in the SonarCube analysis real time. For now, as I said, I did the manual. If I refresh the page, you will also see that the status is going to change to syncing. And in the meantime, while it's syncing, I'll show you another cool thing that we can do as a developer with this integration. So if I go back to the catalog, I will go now to the Manage My Teamwork dashboard, not to the Plan My Day as I did before. And here I have all the information I need for my team, both as a developer and also as a team lead. So I can see what is my team. I can track services, track issues, which we will talk about shortly, see the production readiness of my services, stale PRs. But for now, we're going to talk about my team services. So here I can see all the services that are owned by my team. And to see additional information, for example, the production readiness score, there are many more other fields that can be here for now, so it will be clean and easier for us to recognize the value from Sonar. They are hidden. Another thing that comes from Sonar that is super important to see when we're tracking services is the quality gate. So here we have a quality gate of each one of the services owned by my team. You can see that some of the services failed, some passed, and we also have some information about the issues that were found for the services. For example, number of critical Sonar vulnerabilities, critical Sonar bugs, code smells. And here, if I will click on the link, you will see the information about these services and also why the quality gate is failing. And here, Vivek, you can elaborate a little bit more about what is the quality gate and how we can analyze it from here.
Fantastic. Quality Gate is basically helping you define an organizational standard for your projects. You can have several quality gates based on each project's requirement. You can have quality gates. Quality Gate have several conditions on it. How many security issues are permissible, what kind of rating you need for reliability, and so on, what level of coverage you require in your code. All these things can be configured in the quality gate. In this specific case, quality gate is failing, and you can configure quality gate failure to failure pipeline as well. In this case, you have security hotspots that are not reviewed, therefore quality gate is failing. In this case, an action is required. You can click there. You can go to actually see, oh, there are some hotspots to be reviewed. In fact, 2 of them. You can review them and you can mark them as reviewed. For example, you can click the review button here and then go into a review mode. You will see that, okay, this is not really affecting my security. You can make the decision there. It is essentially that it is forcing you to take some actions to make sure that your code is meeting some minimum standard that is set by your organization, which is expressed as the quality gate. That is exactly what is happening here, Maya.
Perfect. So this is about how we can track the quality gate. Another thing that we can track is to track the actual issues and understand them right away from port. In this example, we're also tracking my team's critical issues on my essential services. So besides of bringing all the services that my team own, I can also provide tier for each service and decide which services are essential for my team and are the critical services that I want to track if I don't want to track all services. And then I can also say that I want to see only the critical issues from SonarQube. In this example, I chose to see only measure and blockers. So in this example, when I have this service, I can see the actual issues that were raised from Sonar in this service. Replace this add instruction with a copy instruction, for example, use a specific version tag for the image. Sometimes it will be really intuitive just from the title and you will know what to do. And sometimes not, and then you will click again on the link and you will be moved to the SonarQube issue page. You can also see the severity, of course, and the type of issues. We have here code smells. We also have vulnerabilities and also bugs. And now, I guess that the integration was already synced. And if we'll go back to Plan My Day, we're supposed to see that we no longer have the issue that we had before. So let's look for it. So it was this one. So if I'll go to this service, sorry, if I'll go here to this pull request, and I can go from here to the Sonar analysis, I can see that the issues are no longer exist. Let's do it from the Sonar analysis. So if I'll go to the SonarQube analysis and I will look for it, I can see that we have the one from 5 minutes ago. We have 2 fixed issues. So we didn't see it in the plan my day because the Sonar Cube was updated, as I showed you before. The GitHub not yet, but once the GitHub will be updated, we will also be able to see it here in the plan my day. Now we'll move forward to another area that we would like to cover, which is the leadership insights from Port and Sonar. So for the leadership, if I'll go back here to Port, I can go to the comply with standard dashboard. The purpose of this dashboard of comply with standard is to follow all the scorecard, all the standards that we set for the organization. For example, you can see here evaluation of service compliance in different standards. You can see the production readiness. But now I want to actually focus not on the scorecard, but more on some of the metrics that we can provide to the leadership to help them understand the quality standard across the organization. So here you can see that we have multiple graphs. For example, we have a distribution of quality gate by project, so we can understand from the different services that we have if we're failing or passing quality gate. In addition to that, we also have here the reduced critical quality issue. Here we can actually spot trends and understand the trends about open critical bug and open critical code smells. So, for example, here I can see that there is a raise in the open critical code smell. So this is something that I spotted. I can talk to the team leads and ask them to check why it's happening and try to reduce it. Some other graph that we have here is first the SonarCube risk exposure, where we can see a distribution of vulnerabilities based on their severity. We also can see the reduced code quality risks graph, that we can see the distribution of different issues among our services like code smells, vulnerabilities, and bugs. And this is kind of a spoiler also for the next area. We can also see which of our services are currently connected to Sonar and which we need to onboard. And that leads me to the last area that we are going to cover, which is SonarCube onboarding for services in Port. So here we will focus on 2 main flows. The first one will be discover and onboard services that are not yet on SonarCube. So here basically we'll see how we can spot when services are not connected to Sonar and do it in one click without the need of jumping to Sonar and to GitHub and to have all this context switch and tab like jumping. And the second flow will be adding new service and onboarding on SonarCube in one go. So if I want to scaffold a new service, I can scaffold it and connect it to Sonar in one go. Again, I don't need to create it in GitHub, then connect it to Sonar. I can do everything from Port. And this is what we are going to see now. So when I go back here to Port, there is a really cool thing that we added lately, which is called initiative. So when I click here on new experience, I have the ability to create an initiative that I want to drive in my organization. So in this example, I created an initiative of Sonar connected to service. As part of the initiative, we have this markdown widget that explains to the entire organization or the entire R&D why this initiative is important, why we want them to connect services and make sure that the services are connected to Sonar, and explain to them the actual value. Below that, we can first understand the full picture, understand which of the services are currently connected, which are not, how far are we in this initiative. So you can see here in this example, the same pie chart that I showed you before, where you can see which of the services are connected to Sonar, which are not. Here we're in a pretty good shape. We see that 34 are connected and only 5 are not. And if you want a more detailed view, you can also look here, and here you will have a list of only the services that are not connected to Sonar. In addition to that, as an VP R&D, for example, you're not really in the details of what are each services of each team, especially if you were working in an enterprise or really large company. So you also have a view by team. So you can see, for example, that in the AI team, 88% of the services are connected to Sonar. But for example, for the front-end infra team, only 25%. So you can go now to the front-end infra team lead and ask the team lead to drive it more and make sure that all services are connected. And let's say I'm from the front-end infra team and I have a service called design system that is not connected to Sonar. So what? I need to go now to Sonar and to GitHub and like try to understand from a different guides how to connect it? Not really. I can just click here on the action button in port next to the service that I want to connect to Sonar. And here I have an action of connect the service to Sonar. When I click here, the next thing I need to do is only to click on execute. And that's it. The action is running. So if I'll click here on the action, I can see that it was done, it succeeded. And if I'll go now to Sonar, to my project, I can look for the design system and I can see that it was created in Sonar. Now there is also another way to do that. If I want, I can also click on the self-service action from here, and then I will have a list of all the services that are currently not connected to Sonar. Click on execute like I showed you before. And as I promised earlier, you don't need to create the repository in GitHub and only then connect Sonar from port. You can do both together. So if I want to scaffold a new service, to create a new repository and connect it to Sonar in one click, I can just click here on the self-service action of the scaffold a new service connected to Sonar. The only thing I need to provide is the service name. So let's call it in this example webinar service port Sonar. So we'll remember that. We'll click on execute. And again, you can see right away that the action has started running. So when I click here again, I will see the information. Here it will take a little bit more time because we are both scaffolding the service and also connected it to Sonar. The way we're doing it behind the scene is using GitHub workflows. So you can also click here to see the job link in GitHub itself. And now you can see that the logs are running and we have the logs to understand what's going on. So the repository was created in GitHub. I can open it and see this new repository that I just created. You can see that everything is from now. It's not something that I made in advance. And we see now that it's also succeeded. So if I'll go here to Sonar Cube, I will also see this service as a project. So if I will look here at webinar service port Sonar, I can see that it was created and onboarded in Sonar as well. Now, before we are closing up and answering some of your questions, there is last thing that I want to show you. So I showed you multiple dashboards and how you can move between pages to get the full picture, both for developers and for leadership, and how you can drive initiatives. But what if you don't want to move between pages? Yes, everything is in port. It's much more convenient than moving between different apps. But what if you can just ask what you need in one place and we'll get an answer? So this is basically our Port AI agent that you see here. So Port AI agent can help you answer any question that you have on your software catalog. You can add it as a widget to any dashboard that you would like. In this example, I put it here in the homepage, but I could also decide to put it, for example, in the Plan My Day. So when developers are going to plan my day in the morning, when they come to work, they can just ask the question before instead of looking for the actual widgets. So you can also create predefined questions, as I have here. For example, how many Sonar issues are in my services? And if I click here, I can see it also in a larger view, so I can understand what the AI agent is doing. So in this case, we see exactly what the agent thinks, what the agent analyzes, APIs that the agent does, and shortly, we're going to see a full answer for the agent without the need of jumping between pages. So we'll get the full answer in a few seconds. Here it is. So we'll get here what are the issues that are on my services. We can see for each service how many issues, the distribution, and I didn't even ask about the distribution of the severity. I just asked about the issues and got the full context. So this is one example of what we can do with the AI agent. I can also ask questions by myself without clicking on a predefined question, like show me the distribution of code of quality gates, quality gates among my services. And this would also work. So we can see that now the AI agent is thinking, we have the entire thinking process. And in the meantime, I would say that this is currently in closed beta import. It's going to be open beta really, really soon. But if you want to try it, even before that, you can just reach out and get it. And as I said, you can locate the agent anywhere you want in port. And here we have the answer. We can see how many services passed, the actual percentage. We also have those emojis, which is a little bit nicer, and some key observations. So that's it about the AI agent. So before we were starting with the questions, I'll just summarize everything that we discussed. So first we introduced Port, introduced Sonar, and how they are better together and give a better context for you in your daily routine. Then we covered some of the possibilities and some of the insights that you can get from Sonar integration within Port for the developers, like tracking PRs and fixing PRs, and also analyzing services. Then we talk about what we can bring to the leadership, different statistics, different dashboards. And lastly, how we can onboard the developers and encourage them to connect services to Sonar or create services connected to Sonar in one go. And that's it from our side. Now we will answer your questions. So Ronnie, the stage is yours. You can start with the questions.
Hey everyone, so popping back in, I see that we have one question from Slava. He's saying, I'm sure you'll mention it, but just in case, are there any requirements for Sonar version / license type for the integration to work, whether it's enterprise or team, etc.?
So I will start answering. Maybe Vivek can join later. But in general, in Port, you can integrate to Sonar if it's enterprise and even if not. There are some limitations that you will see because in Sonar Enterprise, you have more capabilities rather than the not enterprise. For example, syncing with live event is relying on webhook, and this is something that is available in the enterprise. And I believe that Vivek can explain even more what are the changes between and the differences between enterprise and not enterprise. But for the integration itself in Port, you can just install it. You can do it self-hosted or hosted by Port. And provided the API token and all the other information required. But regarding enterprise and not enterprise, you will be limited by the capabilities and limitation in SonarQube.
That's right, Maya. One thing I would remark is that with enterprise, you have features like portfolio, which is basically powering this perspectives for leadership and managers that is going to rely on that kind of features from Sonar. So of course, those dashboards and aggregations based on those features will not work if you have a version or rather an edition of SonarQube that do not support it. Otherwise, the basics should work for all editions.
Great. So I want to give one more minute for people. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the Q&A. And in the meanwhile, I'll say that we're going to share the slides with our contact details, so you can feel free after to reach out to both Vivek or Maya to Port and Sonar, and we will be happy to answer any of your questions. I see one more saying thanks. Could you share more details on the webhook? Live events not available.
Yeah, sure. So in most of the integrations that we have in Port, including SonarCube, we do have the possibility of live events. Live events means that you don't have to, like, in addition to the schedule resync that sync the data from SonarCube back to Port, and in addition to a manual sync like what I just showed in the demo, we can also get live events from a SonarCube, and the way that it works is with webhook. So as part of installing the integration, you will have the option to choose if you want to get live events from Sonar or not. You can also, if you didn't do it while installing SonarCube, you can also go to the data sources page and to the settings of SonarCube and enable the live events. And once the live events are enabled, in Port, we will get webhook events from Sonar, and then we can keep the data from Sonar always up to date without the need to wait to the next schedule sync. What I mentioned about not available is that in SonarCube, at least from some of the time, maybe Vivek can explain about it more, but if you're not an enterprise, then webhooks are blocked. And if webhooks are blocked, then Port can't get the live events. And the other way to sync the data will be with schedule resyncs or manual syncs.
On self-hosted version of SonarCube, at least on SonarCube community, you still have webhooks available on SonarCube. Yes, it is not restricted.
Okay, so this is great. So yeah, so what I said, I believe it's only on the SaaS version, right?
Yes, this is something I'm not really sure about on SonarCube Cloud. How this is handled is something you can check. But on server, I'm sure it is there.
Okay, perfect. Are there other questions?
Okay, then if there are no any questions, we'll say thank you very much, everyone who dedicated their morning, evening, afternoon to us. Again, if there are any other, like if you have any questions or are you reminded of anything? Oh, I see Omer raising his hand. If you could type down your question. Oh, there we go. That's okay. Sorry, all good. If there are any questions, something you're reminded about right after we're done, feel free to reach out to us. We'll share the slides and the recording, either it's today or tomorrow. And thank you again, everyone who participated. See you on the next session.
Thank you. Bye.
Everyone.
Thank you.